Good morning. What is up, everybody? Have you ever noticed that when you're trying to reach a goal, whether it be eat healthy, ask somebody out on a date, get a diploma, certificate, graduate, some part of you just ruins it. Some part of your mind or whatever really demotivates you or causes you to lose focus, doubt yourself. You start overthinking it, and it seems to just ruin it. And you may not even try or just fail at the moment. So hang tight. I want to explain to you all one of my favorite self-improvement modalities out there called parts work. It's helped me a ton. It's helped me overcome a lot of things. Stay tuned. If you end up by liking this video, please like it, share it to your friends, subscribe to the channel. It helps a ton when it comes to getting this content to a wider audience, helps more people, helps this channel grow, helps this community grow. Thanks in advance. So parts work. It's a popular, more so these days, modality of self-improvement, sometimes in therapy. One popular version of it is called Internal Family Systems, or IFS. And I do a version that's more like an exercise through journaling. And it's really quite simple. It's how it sounds. Parts work. You have a part of yourself that wants to reach your goal or win $1 million, get fit, ask somebody out on a date. And you have another part of you that doubts yourself and questions reality, overthinks things. Then you have another part of you that's trying to micromanage everything in your life to try to keep yourself safe or from struggling. It's different for everybody, right? But you get the gist. We have different parts of ourself at play. I'm going to go over 3 main steps to work through this very challenging but freeing and so worth it type of modality. So the first step is awareness. You're just aware that there's some kind of blockages or resistance, some walls up inside of you that keep fendangling, keep ruining you, self-sabotaging you along your goals. Some people might have a goal of, a lot of people do, I have, winning $1 million. The other part of you is very worried and lack-minded and never thinking that there's enough out there, right? So having the awareness that there's this conflicting part, like these two parts butt heads, right? Like if you think constantly about there never being enough and the other part of you wants to win $1 million, then these two are kind of at war, tug of war, if you will. So a big part of this parts work is to understand where these parts came from. Understanding is one of the most healing and freeing parts of parts work. You see the pun? Anyway, in your journal writing, I like to do the parts work after meditation, by the way. I meditate every morning and night because my mind will be more clear and calm. Basic mindfulness meditation, look it up. There's millions of videos out there about that. My mind is clear, calm, and I can just be more aware. This is the awareness step of what's going on in my mind. Because really important, I say this all the time, and it's true, thoughts and beliefs, like beliefs about the world, like you don't think there's enough for everybody or enough for you, or you don't think you're good enough. Beliefs, thoughts, feelings, actions, perceptions about the world, they're all connected. Actions or even lack of action. So if you don't believe you're good enough, then you don't feel good enough, you don't see that you're good enough, and then you don't act in a way that you're good enough. So that kind of confidence in your step that helps you reach your goals will be lacking. Now, having compassion for yourself is huge when doing parts work. You're kind of analyzing these parts of you that may be in the way of reaching your goals. And a lot of people, including me, have just gotten really frustrated and mad at that part of myself that's blocking me from my goals. Me personally, I didn't feel good enough a lot growing up. And that leaked over to my relationships later in life. I was compared to other people when I was a kid, and I didn't do very good in school. I didn't get A's. I definitely didn't get A's. And I felt a lot of shame about that. So I learned through my parts work that kind of, tracing back, they call it inner child work, where these parts started helps a lot to find understanding. So if I thought about my childhood, I was like, wow, I really do get compared to other people. And through that, I realized that, wow, hold on a second. I'm a free spirit and I'm shaming myself for not getting A's in algebra. Like, what use is algebra to me anyways? Like, who created these constructs of what's acceptable and unacceptable? At the end of the day, society and those around us just shamed us because we didn't fit in their mold and make them look good. And that mold is kind of BS, honestly, for a lot of people. How do you expect a movie star? Do you think that they should be unworthy because they're not good at trigonometry? No, you can't compare apples to oranges. A construction worker, no. Do you think that they should be good at biochemistry and that should indicate their worth? No way. We all have our different strengths. So just realizing that through writing, it made me release the shame a lot. Shame is like one of the big gatekeeper bullies parts that gets in a lot of people's hearts and gets in our way of reaching goals. The shame is so painful that we don't even try. And that's where I found myself in my teens. And I had a lot of depression and addiction problems. These feelings that come up when we start to have goals become so painful that we avoid it without consciously knowing it. So that's why this awareness part is so key. The next big step, is to have a conversation between these parts. So the part of me that has goal of doing better in life, $1 million, getting a new boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever, is going to talk to that part. It's like, wow, I see why your thoughts are so negative and why you avoid reaching goals, other part, because it's painful. You were made fun of and shamed for not doing good, so you said, I'm not even going to try, and that's understandable. Processing feelings in this way is really therapeutic because many people, avoid feelings throughout their whole life, whether it's through addictions, soft or hard addictions, scrolling the internet, sugar, junk food, alcohol, drugs. I did all kinds of hard drugs and soft substances, played video games, and I'm really sober, happy, and clear now, free, and feeling my best because I'm processing my feelings in a healthy way. Now, I have these conversations to myself in my notebook, in my journal. I never had enough money in the past to have a therapist, so I kind of found these type of tools, meditation especially, journal writing, parts work, and another one that I came up with called the integration pillars. So I'll get into that another time, but one pillar that I like to use a lot is long-term versus short-term. So for instance, if I'm having the conversation between these two parts about wanting to do better in life and overcoming the shame and all that, I can bring this pillar of long-term happiness versus short-term. Because the one part, you can simplify your parts into the old self and the new self. The new self that wants your goals, the old self that was viewing things negatively and blocking you from your goals. You want long-term happiness, and the old self had a lot of short-term sabotaging habits like junk food and avoidance, substances, thinking negative. That was just short-term comfort zone oriented stuff. So having the conversation between these parts will help things make sense and bring understanding to why things are the way they are, why you think the way you think, and it will bring a lot of freedom and flow, and you'll be able to move into your goals a lot more smoothly and feel those blockages free up, those chains break, so to speak. That's really, really powerful. You'll start to feel better. You'll get more creative ideas, more downloads, and how you can make that $1 million, what you can say to that person that you want to ask out on a date, now that the negative thinking is not there in your mind over and over again. And number 3 is just to act on it. to move through it. Now you've got a plan. Being consistent with this journaling and parts work is helpful because the more that you do it, the more natural it becomes. Now, it's important to realize that it's not a straight start to finish linear line to your goals. There's a lot of push and pull and teeter-totter sometimes in your parts work integration journey. And the more that you do it, though, the more that you'll lighten up about it and you'll have fun with it. But eventually that old part goes away more and more and integrates and ceases to take control of your subconscious mind and conscious mind, and your higher self, your part that wants the long-term goals, kind of just takes the driver's seat, if you will, and brings you along the way to your happiness without any more disturbance. Some parts are harder to shake for some than others. Some people might be very worried and fearful about things, and that's how they were raised. And some things are very easy to reprogram mentally, and that's okay. So I hope this has all helped bring some insight to you all. Have you ever heard of parts work? Have you ever noticed these different sabotaging thoughts in your head? Like you want to go to the gym and eat healthy, especially it's January, it's New Year, new me time. That's the funny thing. And you've got these thoughts in your head after you get off of work, like, oh, I'm just going to go to the fast food and get junk food. You just caught your part trying to block your other part of wanting to reach your goals. Have you ever had any thoughts like that? Please leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your story. So my name's Lewis. Again, thank you all for being here. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you found any value into it. Take care, everybody. Hope you have a great Sunday. Peace.